Hey, it's Ryan Deeter here with Key Realty again, and I want to bring you another video. In this video, we're actually going to talk about the real estate news and stuff that I'm following and reading up on and just sharing it with you guys. So I want to kind of start doing a weekly or even bi-weekly video where I just kind of talk about news that I'm reading and filtering for you guys that's going to make an impact in the Columbus real estate market or landscape in some ways. And they may be news articles directly talking about real estate. They may be stuff that's just new developments, new things happening, or new studies that's going on. So just wanted to create a video for you guys to be able to digest stuff that's filtered through me and that you guys could take and watch on the go, things like that. So you don't have time to sit down and read up through all these articles. Hopefully this is helpful for you and this is something you guys enjoy. And if you ever have articles or things that you want me to talk about, I'd be happy to throw them up here and just kind of dive into that as well. So. But my first story is one that's been out for a little bit, a couple weeks now. But the Columbus Business First published a new article about the Columbus population growth. In 2020, there was a study done by the MidOhio Planning Committee, and they predicted that we're going to reach about 3 million people, roughly 3 million people by 2050. And they went back and did the restudy and looked at the numbers again, and it actually shows that we're exceeding that 3 million number as of now. So things are actually, moving faster than they thought in the last 2 years. Even with the COVID situation going on, Columbus is still, on track to reach that, actually exceed that 3 million people. And they think it's going to land around 3.15 for now. We'll see where that's at in a couple of years again, if they study it again. But that's going to add an extra 726,000 people to the region, an additional 272 households, and another 357,000 workers. So quite big numbers, but still have about 30 years to go on that. So we'll see how that goes. Some of the big projects that's kind of leading the way. Of course, we have Intel that's coming here, and other projects that are happening that kind of are impacting this number, keeping these numbers coming. And why they're predicting these bold numbers is Ohio State's innovation districts. They're creating 12,000 jobs alone, and Northwest Bank just moved their headquarters, and a lot of other factors. Another cool study car company that's coming here. So if you're into cars, these high-end hydrogen cars are coming here. A company called Hyperion, I think is how you say it, is moving here and making their headquarters here and bringing 700 jobs to Columbus, at least their production here. And they're pretty cool cars if you want to look them up. It's called Hyperion, Hyperion. That's how you spell it, but it's a cool company. If you look at their cars, they're really, kind of slick cars. So kind of a cool thing to happen in here in Columbus. But yeah, it's just going to the prediction side. Obviously, this is going to impact real estate in a way that's pretty simple, supply and demand. We're going to have more demand in Columbus, more people in Columbus means more buyers, more people looking for homes, means that prices are going to continue to go up, in my opinion. And so this is just kind of a good one to start with because it's a pretty simple story that talks about how Columbus is growing and not expected to slow down. In fact, we're accelerating here. So, but we're not at a crazy growth. We're not at the growth rate that your Austin's was in and other cities that really grew so fast that they now are starting to see even larger, faster corrections per se. But yeah, we're still good, steady, really aggressive growth, but not abnormal. I don't think something that we can't maintain growth. Now we have underbuilt the last really the last decade, and that's going to be the issue in the next decade still, is that we don't have enough housing for people, and prices are going to go up, and if you're looking to rent and stuff like that, rent prices are going to go up, and we're going to start seeing other housing issues continue to be a major issue. Now I know the mayor has tried to make that something that he kind of takes on. So hopefully we see some creative ideas on how to work with the housing issues that we're going to see the next few years. The next story I want to talk about is DeWine actually just, I don't know if it's passed a law or at least accepted a grant for studies on the Amtrak connections from Cincinnati to Cleveland, really. And so it's Cincinnati to Dayton, then Columbus to Cleveland, however you look at it. But it's a study that's going to $500,000 study that's going to study the impact of this Amtrak railway and how it impacts other railways and other travel and things like that. So hopefully this is the first step to actually considering the idea of connecting these cities and making it easier to travel to the major cities of Ohio and then beyond that, of course. So kind of a neat little thing. Obviously, there's going to be an impact of city centrals, and people can jump on a train and be in another city. It's kind of a neat thing to think about. Instead of having to get in a car and drive, you can work on the way. You can do things. We'll make it easier for kind of the city revival as well, bringing people to the city and kind of having more reasons for people to visit downtown per se, if there's a downtown connection there. So hopefully that comes back positive, and we can start seeing this. Now, of course, there's always two sides of the coin of the finances of this and how much this is going to cost, and how much is this really a benefit. I think it's a cool idea, but everyone has their own opinions on that stuff. The last story I want to talk about is actually in Westerville. Westerville is adding a 10-acre adventure park, which I think is really neat, because I'm a avid outdoor enthusiast, and I think Columbus needs to continue to work on their outdoor activities around the immediate Columbus region. And I think this is something that's going to really help that. I know I love the downtown Audubon Park that has the rock wall there as well. So a lot of neat things happening. Hopefully this is something that we can just see a lot of neat activity happening there. They're going to add a fitness circus, a climbing tower, supposedly frisbee golf, and then some fire pits, stuff like that, and an adventure course or obstacle course. So a lot of neat stuff happening with that, and hopefully this is kind of a boost to that Westerville area that's already kind of got a lot of young families and people growing in that area, and on top of the northern suburbs as well. So kind of fun, just a fun project there that they're doing. Westerville continues to grow and continues to see a lot of neat stuff happen in those northern suburbs. I mean, really all of Columbus is getting creative and doing some things. Yeah, hopefully you found that helpful. Hopefully you found these stories fun. And if you ever have a story you wanted me to talk about, happy to look into it. Always love reading about real estate news and just Columbus development going on in general. So please feel free to share those articles with me if you see something that you'd like to share or think that I haven't seen. And hopefully you have a good week. Talk to you soon.